killed 85 people. Patrick Foss reporting.
2 contract delivery drivers working for Amazon were supposed to bring packages from a warehouse south of Seattle to a post office for shipping. Instead, FBI says they routinely stole items and sold them at pawn shops. No charges have yet been filed. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra.
Hello, I'm Fred Dwyer. I've had a MyPillow for 2 years. Before that, I had sleeping problems. Pillows would go flat, I would flip and flop all night, I would wake up with a sore neck and a sore back, and maybe even a headache. Made right here in the United States with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee, there's nothing to lose. For a limited time, go to MyPillow.com and get a 2-pack of MyPillow Premiums for just $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow. And it's only available at MyPillow.com when you use the promo code WINNER. That's 2 premium pillows, just $69.98 with the promo code WINNER at MyPillow.com or call 800-513-3363. That's 800-513-3363 or MyPillow.com promo code WINNER for a fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Enjoy Tiki Live, the best cable alternative choice today, with hundreds of premium live TV programming, including ESPN, CNN, Fox News, Disney, AMC, Bravo, XF, OWN, and CRN Talk. Plus, no contracts and low month-to-month service. Tiki Live, servicing North America, including the Caribbean. To get started, visit TikiLive.com to order hundreds of channels, including CRN Talk, at a fraction of what you're paying today. Visit TikiLive.com. That's TikiLive.com.
I needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
You can try fighting the law all you want, but the law is always going to win. From politicians and celebrities to sports figures and business leaders, they're fighting the law. Now, here to sort out the nation's top legal news stories is America's favorite legal analyst, Royal Oakes. This is the Royal Oakes Show.
Robbing people with a 6-gun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
Thank you, Mike Horn, and welcome to the Royal Oak Show. Welcome to our co-host, Ken Jeffries. How you doing today, Ken?
Hi there. Boy, is it hot outside. It's like 100 degrees as I came in here today.
It is early August, so...
In the San Fernando Valley.
In the San Fernando Valley.
It's what we should expect, yes. Very, very close to the Spawn Ranch.
Although this is one that has been... July may have, apparently, they say, go down as the hottest month on record for planet Earth.
Wow, it's almost like global warming and climate change. It's a legitimate issue.
There's no such thing.
Almost.
He's a denier. He is a...
We got a denier, boys.
Denier, yeah. So our millennial correspondent, Connor Oakes, is
Get
here.
the shame paddle. Thank you very much. I am happy to be here, as always, having a great time.
Shame paddle? What is a shame paddle? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's for climate change deniers. I have a shame paddle, and I bend you over, and I spank you like the bad boy that you are. So get ready for that.
We were talking about corporal punishment.
Wait a minute.
And I think I shared with you the experience when I was in first grade about little Keith.
Yeah.
I don't know little Keith's last name, or I'd slander him or libel him or something. But so he liked to punch kids in the stomach. And blammo, he would punch all the kids in the stomach, and he'd laugh.
Blammo.
That sounds like like Drano or something. It's like blammo.
The Whammo people may sue me.
They will.
And I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I was one of the stomach punching victims or not. I might have been, but I'm not sure. But he was an equal opportunity puncher. He'd punch the girls. He'd punch the boys.
That's great.
And everybody would go off
Egalitarian.
crying. So one day the teacher got tired of it.
Good.
And so she took Keith behind the wall there where everybody hung up their coats. All the sixth graders, and she had a big paddle.
Oh my God!
And whap! She gave him 4 or 5 big whaps, and he came out, tears streaming down, crying, and everybody's trying to muffle their delight, and we weren't very good at muffling our delight. And you can imagine the relief at seeing finally some justice.
Yeah.
Keith, the stomach puncher, got his comeuppance, and so. there was corporal punishment in first grade back in the old days. When I was in junior high, I remember the guys that acted up. I don't think the girls got this, but the guys that acted up, the boys' vice principal would give them swats. And so you knew if you behaved with
a paddle?
with some kind of paddle. I don't know. I was such a little
Goody two-shoes.
junior Goldwater kid. I never got that treatment. But the badasses, they would get swats.
Right.
And depending on how bad they do,
On their
if it was
badass.
a felony,
team,
you might get 10 swats.
Right.
A kid felony.
So speaking of
my question is, do they still use corporal punishment
No.
in schools? Because
No.
they did when I was.
No, they can't.
Absolutely not.
They can't.
No,
Absolutely
it's
not,
verboten?
yeah. Not-
I think
not
it
even
is
a little bit.
Verboten?
Verboten. I'm interested to see that you saw this, this child being corporally punished as a real justice
Oh
being
my
meted
gosh!
out.
It was the
Great.
best thing. It was better than watching Roy Rogers and Trigger.
Was it as good as
Did
watching?
you ever web Trigger? I don't know.
Was it as good as watching Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, where at the end the Nazis get what they deserve?
Well, I didn't see the movie, but anytime Nazis get what they deserve, I would be in favor of that.
Well,
Have you seen the new one? The
That's
Once Upon a
exactly
Time
my
in
point.
Hollywood?
Absolutely.
The one that's in the news right now,
Yeah.
the big
You
story.
mentioned the Spawn Ranch at the beginning of the show.
It's another one, yeah.
So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Right.
the
I gotta
name
see
of
that
the
thing.
new Quentin Tarantino movie. So you haven't seen it yet. You have to
What
see
I
it.
did hear is almost every single KHJ boss jock is in it, and including one of my favorites.
Like radio jockeys.
including Charlie Tuna, and so I want to see it. And I grew up in New York, but I listened to WABC disc jockeys. But when I came out here in the mid '70s, some of them were still on the air, like the real Don Steele and all those people. So.
I don't remember Charlie Tuna being in the movie. I guess I've heard that he was in the movie. But I talked to a friend of mine who saw the film and said, yeah, an air check of him is in it with Humble Harv, real Don Steele. Okay, there are three: Humble Harv, the real Don Steele, and Robert W. Morgan are the stars of the show in terms of the jocks in Quentin Tarantino's movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff from their air checks. They're introducing commercials of the time. Tanya tanning butter, which I'd totally forgotten about, but in 1969, you would go to the beach and you'd put Tanya on. Helena Rubinstein.
I put Tanya on a long time ago. That's another story. Her name was Tanya Schwartz, I think, or something. I can't remember.
Helena Rubinstein had a cologne
Helena
perfume that
Rubinstein.
gals would put on called Heaven Scent.
Ooh, Heaven Sent.
I remember that.
And the
actually.
Heaven
That's
Scent.
cute. Heaven Sent is pretty cute.
Yeah, the ad, the jingle.
Did they do
was
pimple
fantastic.
creams and stuff
No,
like
they
that?
didn't put any
Really?
acne medication in the movie, Ken. They did not. That
There
would
was
be a big downer.
There was a lot of radio ads for pimple cream in those days on teen-oriented radio
Well,
stations.
there may have been, but they didn't put it in this movie
Oh, they
because
should.
that. No, I think that would.
Stridex medicated pads?
Yeah, but they also advertised Numero Uno, cologne for men. There are only 4 male fragrances in the world, and there's Numero Uno Gold, Silver, Red, and Green. And this announcer is just making it sound like, I gotta go out and buy this stuff. If you buy the soundtrack to the Once Upon a Time, you're going to hear not only the bits from the movie, but also the full commercials, the full songs.
Oh, that's cool.
The soundtrack.
You get to hear
is
93 KHJ. You get to hear that?
well, absolutely, and it's the actual air checks, and the real Don Steele is wonderful. I'd forgotten that Humble Harv's voice is very distinctive. It was almost like Eastern European.
I understand they actually hired an actor to play him, but they left that on the cutting room floor. It didn't make the cut.
Why would they do that?
Because
Not the air
I don't
checks.
know. That's just what I saw. I read that on
Yeah.
Facebook, and I don't know.
Well,
But there are
here's
some other references to Humble Harv in there, if you know about his life story, which maybe I shouldn't get into, but that were actually put onto another character in the film. But again, I haven't seen it, but I heard a lot about it.
Well, it's poignant because I mean, when I was 16 in the summer of 1969, that's the time when you're really absorbing music and culture and so on. And so the real Don Steele and Robert W. Morgan were amazing. And I was reading, in their backgrounds, and it's so sad that they both were born in 36 or 37.
Right.
And so when they started up KHJ as this formidable force to take over from KFWB and KRLA, and it ran for about 8 years, from 65 to 73, and they were the kings. And the sad part is that they both died from lung cancer within a year of each other in 96 or 97.
Wow.
And I assume they were big-time smokers.
Right.
Anyway, to get back to the movie, if you haven't seen it, folks, absolutely. It's gone right to the top of my list. I used I have a list of my all-time favorite movies, and High Noon has always been my top movie. This is now numero uno.
Numero uno.
Gold or silver or whatever. And it's because you can't talk about it in detail because not everybody has seen the movie, and it would spoil it. But the themes of friendship, the relationship between the Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt character, the theme of courage. Brad Pitt does some very courageous things in the movie. Ambition, success. It hits all the buttons. Nostalgia for me, because it was so.
You grew up listening.
Yeah, I grew up listening
sure.
to that.
So did my wife. And by the way, she says hi from the Bay Area. She's at a conference.
Fantastic. Hello to Stephanie.
She's watching now.
So anyway, I highly recommend the movie. It's just frustrating you can't talk about it because it's got some plot twists that you can't reveal.
What do you think about the theme that I have seen highlighted in a lot of reviews of violence and America's relationship to violence that appeared in the media? And around 1969, we were grappling with having just come out of Vietnam, which brought violence on our TVs into our living rooms. Did you see that as a theme of the movie, that people were grappling with violence in the media?
I didn't see that as a big theme, and that's probably because I'm not a big thinker. What I saw was the violence in the film that one might argue is justified and is very satisfying. When bad guys get their comeuppance.
You can't really
in Inglourious
really
Bastards, it's a Quentin Tarantino theme.
Right.
The bad guys get
what they deserve.
Yeah, so that's, but it's got a huge Oscar buzz now. They're talking about it as being absolutely one of the best picture nominees.
Well, it's a big LA connection, of course, and he transformed, I think, Hollywood Boulevard into 1969 Hollywood Boulevard. But,
hey, big show, folks. We're going to have Moron of the Week shortly. We're going to have two idiot candidates, and as usual, we'll vote at the end of the show as to the biggest moron of the week. But also, we're going to inaugurate a new feature here. We're going to have a pop culture quiz where Ken and Connor are going to square off. I'm going to have 3 critical questions for you guys. And we don't have Jeopardy buzzers, and we don't have Alex Trebek.
Just go,
something like that, yeah. So we're gonna do that.
Can I just say one more thing, too?
Sure.
R.I.P. Woodstock 50. Woodstock 50, they were going to have it this month. And now they had.
You say R.I.P. You mean it's not going to happen? It's dead.
It's canceled. It's
wow.
canceled. The whole thing.
Where was it going to be?
Well, it was going to be near Woodstock originally. In New York. They couldn't do that, and they couldn't get it together. Then they
how could they not get it together?
Then they were
going to get a field, right? How hard is it to rent a field?
They couldn't do it, and then they were going to say, okay, let's have it in Maryland, which is what So some of the acts started pulling out already, and they can't. The other day they said, forget it, we're not doing it.
That's idiotic, isn't that? Walking away from millions and millions of dollars. Who wouldn't want to go to a festival that celebrates the 50th freaking anniversary of Woodstock, the biggest music festival in the history of the world?
Whatever it is, it's canceled. So it's whatever it was going to be.
We could do a crowdfunding thing.
Let's do it.
Do our own little.
Well, the 50th anniversary, I guess, is about August 15.
Well, and the people who went are in their 20s. Now they're in their 70s. Maybe they can't make it. I mean, it's. So
you weren't actually in attendance?
I wasn't. My sister and brother-in-law were. It was their first date with Woodstock.
The first date? Wow. Were they rolling around naked in the mud like those hippies that we saw in Life magazine?
Not that they would tell me.
Right.
And in fact, they had plans to go back for the 50th anniversary, and I don't know what they're going to do now. But
Wow. Well, we've talked in recent shows here about the fact that this 30-day period from mid-July to mid-August is this amazing 50th anniversary of 4 things: the moon landing, Ted Kennedy and Chappaquiddick, plus the Manson murders.
Oh yeah, Ted Kennedy.
And
that's right,
the Woodstock. I mean, talk about 4 tectonic plate shifting.
And the Mets later on the year, of course, the Mets. We talked about it last week on the Mets winning the World Series.
Yeah, that was a wonderful thing too, but that wasn't in the 30-day window. That was in October.
No, it doesn't qualify for the.
That was back in the days when they actually had the World Series in October and didn't creep into
and played it during the daytime.
Yeah. That's right. So we're going to get into the big news story of the week, namely the Democrat debates. But before we do, we got some breaking news on this Saturday. This horrible news, and that has to do with the El Paso shooting. And just before we went on the air, we were trying to figure out the facts, and right now we don't really know a whole lot about.
Yeah, it's all kind of up in the air.
Yeah, some news reports indicate many.
Somebody walked in, I guess, with an I don't know what kind of a rifle, and I don't want to get into. It was that's and I guess started shooting. And I don't know if you
and
want
the
to
shooter
use the
apparently
death
has
toll, and
survived,
it's,
we
you know,
think. A white male. There may be a manifesto someplace online, of course.
Other reports say the manifesto was a hoax. Who knows?
And maybe there are other shooters.
Yeah, we
I
don't.
guess
A lot of things we don't know yet.
A whole bunch we don't know. We just know that it sounds very tragic. I guess one question, and you were alluding to it off the air, Connor. Do you think we should have a rule where you never mention the name of the shooter or shooters, on the theory that that's kind of what some of these maniacs want, and so why give it to them, and why encourage it?
Some smart folks who are psychologists, criminal psychologists, and pathologists have said that pretty much the worst thing you could do is what most media does in reaction to the shooting. Describe the name of the perpetrator, describe the story and the facts, give the person's life history, and especially every possible nice thing anyone's ever said about them. Oh, they were such a nice kid, or whatever, that is what gets trotted out there every single time, especially when they're white male. Right. And also just media coverage where you give the body count, where you show flashing lights and police sirens and ambulances and crying people and crowds. You treat it like it's a high scoreboard where you say, oh, this person achieved as many kills as possible. It's like that is what causes copycat murders. That is what causes this horrible circle of thought in people's heads that this is somehow a solution to my problems, the way for me to become famous or something else. It's tragic, but it's also what pulls viewers in, because what do people want in the moment? People want facts. People want to know. They want to know. Right. But why do they want to know what kind of gun it is? What is our morbid fascination to know the kind of rifle?
And we're still getting over the Gilroy Festival last week.
I guess the only thing I would disagree with you on is in terms of criminal psychologists, I don't care how much they've studied psychology. If they're criminals, I don't want to hear them. The same thing with child psychologists. What do I?
Yeah, I don't care.
Old
not trusting
analyzing me.
it. Not trusting it.
We'll be back on CRN with the Royal Oak Show.
This is the Entertainment Answer. What other films are taking on the live-action Lion King in theaters this week? None. Who would even try? Like it or not, these live-action remakes just aren't going away. Families can also look for Breakthrough now on all home formats, as well as Shazam for your older viewers. Plus, several other solid films are still going strong in theaters, including Toy Story 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home. Certainly a lot to keep your summer sizzling. For this Entertainment Answer, I'm Matt Mungle.
Hello, I'm Fred Dwyer. I've had a MyPillow for 2 years. Before that, I had sleeping problems. Pillows would go flat, I would flip and flop all night, I would wake up with a sore neck and a sore back, and maybe even a headache. Made right here in the United States with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee, there's nothing to lose. For a limited time, go to MyPillow.com and get a 2-pack of MyPillow Premiums for just $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow. And it's only available at MyPillow.com when you use the promo code WINNER. That's 2 premium pillows, just $69.98 with the promo code WINNER at MyPillow.com, or call 800-513-3363. That's 800-513-3363 or MyPillow.com, promo code WINNER for a fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
We are the debt destroyer. Any debt you have, credit card, tax, student loan debt. Call now to get our free report that tells you how to destroy your debt. It's a great resource. Plus, when you make this free call right now, we'll have a debt destroyer expert ready to help you. They can show you how they can help you destroy your debt and get your life back on track. Debt problems don't have to be overwhelming. You can live stress-free and debt-free. Credit cards, medical bills, IRS tax problems, even student loan debt. Learn about free programs offered by the credit card companies, hospitals, and even the government that can help you slash your debt. Call right now for free information, including our Debt Destroyer Guide, a $300 value, yours free. Call right now.
800-515-6348. 800-515-6348. That's 800-515-6348.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back to the Royal Oak Show with our co-host Ken Jeffrey. And our special guest today, our special guest, the Rolling Stones.
Oh, yeah.
We can't always get what you want, right?
That's true. Trump apparently.
And we wanted them, but we couldn't.
That is the strangest thing. I don't know why he uses that at campaign appearances. You can't always get what you want.
I didn't realize that he did until recently. I read that. So you know everything, Ken. So you knew it all along that Trump plays that song.
Right.
So how does he get permission? I would think Mick Jagger.
Well, I don't think. Maybe he never
would
did.
not be a Trumpster.
I don't know.
A bunch of musicians who he's used at rallies have publicly said stop using.
I've heard that, but I haven't heard anything about Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones saying, "Hey, big guy."
But even so, if you're going to pick a Stone song, you're going to pick. You can't always get what you want.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think
it's that or satisfaction. That doesn't work.
He was taunting the Democrats. Maybe when Hillary lost or something.
You know what? He probably just liked the way it sounded. Use it. Maybe. Who knows? Don't know.
It's a wonderful song, but it's a kind of a.
Well, he
weird
didn't get any
situation.
satisfaction. Maybe I don't know. Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
So, moron of the week. We always nominate 2 really stupid candidates and then vote to see who the stupidest is at the end of the show. So, the first one, guys, he's a Florida man named Courtney Lawrence. And he's pled guilty to a count of murder in the 2016 armed home invasion that left one of his accomplices dead.
Excellent.
Yeah. So Courtney Lawrence has a neck tattoo that says murder on it.
No.
So my nomination for moron of the week here, the first candidate, I think if you're gonna commit murder,
right,
it's really stupid to have murder on your neck.
Yes.
I think he should have stuck with like plagiarism or treason or stealing office supplies.
Yeah. Put on the neck.
And don't put I stole office supplies on your neck.
It'd be kind of like, say, James Bond style 007 spy tattooing spy on his neck, because that's really going to give you away.
I spy.
That's a good analogy.
I spy.
His past criminal record dating back to his teen years.
Eric Clapton, I shot the sheriff.
Right. Yep. Yeah, right on the shirt. Yeah.
He had multiple convictions: armed robbery, grand theft, burglary, and sale or delivery of a controlled substance. Yeah, if he just kept doing stuff like that, but murder, it's just it
too far.
Tips you off. Well, there was that weird case in Las Vegas about 3 or 4 years ago where a guy, I think, was on trial for murder, and he had a bunch of Aryan Nazi-type racist tattoos on his face.
Excellent.
And so there's the jury that has been picked, and it's a diverse jury. They're a city of Las Vegas. They're not all white Aryan racists.
Right.
Much to his chagrin.
Right.
And so he asks the judge if he could have a special makeup artist flown in, from Hollywood to cover up all the racist tattoos. And there was a big argument. The prosecution says, no, tax dollars shall not be spent to do this. And the judge ended up saying, yeah, go ahead, bring Brenda in. A little foundation, a little,
That's the thing about tattoos.
You're ready for your close-up, Mr. Murderer?
People change. And maybe he actually was innocent and actually had changed.
No, nothing changed.
Wasn't this also why they dress up perpetrators when they put them on the witness stand?
As clowns, or as ballerinas, soldiers. So, Ken, if you were king, if you were judge, would you have allowed Mr. Racist Monster Murderer to put makeup on?
No.
Or would you say, hey, pal, you made your bed, you lie in it. You went to the tattoo artist when you were drunk that night and got all those swastikas. You're going to have to look like that in front of the jury.
Yes, I would do that.
So is a bleeding heart Las Vegas judge is the bottom line who did this. All right, so that's our candidate number one for Moron of the Week. We'll give you the second candidate later. We're also going to get have our pop culture quiz. We're going to see Ken and Con square off against this. I'll be the
excited.
I'll be the quiz master. So the debate between the Democrats, 2 debates actually. There were 10 on Tuesday, I guess, and 10 on Wednesday. And of course, the brilliant political analyst from CNN noticed when they used ping pong balls picked out of a bucket or something to figure out who was on which night. And the CNN political director notices, oh, wow, look, all 10 of the people on Tuesday are white. And so everybody was saying, is that important, sir? Is that noteworthy that you should point out that all 10 from Tuesday were white Americans. But anyway, he thought that was.
I mean, the majority of people running are, and it doesn't really. I mean, I don't know what the statistical significance level be. What confidence level can we say that there's a problem with the ping pong ball?
Well, it was a
machine?
little weird, I guess, because the second night had Julian Castro.
Right.
He's not white.
Kamala Harris.
There were some other non-white candidates. Oh, Cory Booker. Right. So the question I guess I'd want to pose to you guys is, did Joe Biden get up off the mat and revive his campaign? It looks like the polls suggest he's probably okay. But Kamala Harris just knocked him to the canvas before.
He's probably right. He's probably okay. Didn't make any major. I saw part of it, and he didn't.
That's the thing. Biden is like Trump.
He didn't seem to really screw it up.
They're the status quo candidates, so they have a huge advantage if nothing happens. So if they just survive the debates, they get to walk out and say, "Oh well, I lived through, so that means I'm still the front runner, right?"
So he may have survived okay. And Marianne Williamson, the motivational speaker, is really, everybody's searching her name more than anybody else. But there's a mystery person, a mystery Democrat for president. We'll reveal it when we come back.
We'll be back on CRN with the Royal Oak Show.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, everybody. Michael Horn from CRNTalk.com. We provide you with the best in talk radio. 8 channels of talk radio, from radio on the left, radio on the right, sports talk, business talk, religious talk, Spanish talk, you name it, we've got talk radio for you. All at CRNTalk.com. Well, now we'll bring you video as well as audio. That's right. Watch your favorite shows like The Robert Conrad Show, The Fred Dreyer Program, What's Cooking Today, What's Cooking on Wine, The Lounge, and so many other shows in video right at our website, CRNTalk.com. You can also watch us on Roku. Just search CRN Talk, and you can watch us on Roku on any TV anywhere in the world. Also on Facebook Live. Go to Facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Roku, search CRN Talk. Check us out on Tiki Live and at CRNTalk.com. Video for you talk fans, all from CRN Talk.
Hello, I'm Fred Dreyer. I've had a MyPillow for 2 years. Before that, I had sleeping problems. Pillows would go flat. I would flip and flop all night. I would wake up with a sore neck and a sore back and maybe even a headache. Made right here in the United States with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee, there's nothing to lose. For a limited time, go to MyPillow.com and get a 2-pack of MyPillow Premiums for just $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow. And it's only available at MyPillow.com when you use the promo code WINNER. That's 2 premium pillows, just $69.98 with the promo code WINNER at MyPillow.com or call 800-513-3363. That's 800-513-3363 or MyPillow.com promo code WINNER for a fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
The following ad contains shocking material. Listener discretion is advised. Is someone in your family playing a dangerous game of Russian roulette? Over 43,000 people die a year from drug overdose. 120 people a day. 5 people every hour. 1 person every 12 minutes. 88,000 people die every year from alcohol abuse. Over 240 people a day, 10 an hour. One person every 6 minutes. Somebody you know may be next. Learn how to help someone you love get away from the drugs, alcohol, and bad influences. With the FMLA, people can take a leave of absence from their job and still keep it. Call Quit Drugs 321 now at 800-378-3315, 800-378-3315, 800-378-3315. That's 800-378-3315.
Welcome back to the Royal Oak Show with our co-host Ken Jeffries and our millennial correspondent Connor Oakes. So we will get back to the issue of the Democrat debates, but we're inaugurating our wonderful feature, our pop culture quiz. And Ken and Con are going to square off. I've got 3 questions for you, and we're just going to see who knows the most about pop culture.
Pop culture.
Yeah, okay. So question number 1. What phrase did Meatloaf and Jack Nicholson help make famous? What phrase did Jack Nicholson and Meatloaf both help make famous?
The singer Meatloaf, not the dish. You can.
No, I'm talking about the food, the comfort food, Ken. Yes, you're right. It's the singer. So can you think of the phrase?
Well, Meatloaf, Here's Johnny would be... but wait, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, which is one of his Meatloaf songs. Paradise by the Dashboard Light was
2 out of 3 ain't bad is the answer, because if you remember Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
See,
I didn't see Mars.
Well, you see, to get full credit, Ken, you had to have seen Mars Attacks.
I did see the follow-up, Uranus Attacks.
Honestly, I'm more impressed.
I wanted to say that, Uranus Attacks.
I'm sure you did. We all wanted you to say it.
You can't say that on a podcast, Ken, is the problem.
And then the other one, Pluto Attacks.
I'm more impressed by the idea that Ken didn't see the movie but still got the answer correct.
I'm stunned. I'm blown away.
I used to play that. I used to play 2 out of 3 ain't bad when I worked in rock and roll radio many years ago.
Do you remember?
That was his big hit.
Do you remember Mars Attacks? The line that Jack Nicholson used after the Martians blew up Congress?
Yeah, we still have 2
out of 3 ain't
2
bad.
out of 3 branches of government, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad. All right, so
that was okay.
You're going to get half credit for the question.
Question 1 out of 1 ain't bad.
Question number 2: Katy Perry and Joe Biden have both been accused of the same illegal act.
I know
what is that illegal act?
Plagiarism.
Yep.
Yes, right. See, Ken was being nice. He was kind of holding back, I guess.
I appreciate it.
As of this past week.
But the problem is, by holding back, Ken, that means your half point is just half.
Well, one out of a half.
One out of a half.
Half out of one is not.
All right,
bad.
third and final question. Jack Lord and Tom Selleck helped make what state famous?
Oh, Jesus.
Jack Lord and Tom Selleck helped make what American state famous?
Can I say it already?
Yes.
Hawaii.
Yes.
Hawaii
Five-0,
of
and of course Magnum
Jack
PI.
Lord. Oh, he's Magnum PI.
He was.
And the reboot of Hawaii Five-0 is pretty good.
Wait, Jack was
followed
Hawaii Five-0?
Yes. Right.
Okay.
See, that was before you were born.
The reboot of Hawaii Five-0 Friday nights on CBS. Not that they didn't pay me for that. That's pretty good. Followed by Tom Selleck in Blue Bloods.
Nice. The Love Boat.
Which is another great.
Ken, if you're going to plug these shows,
followed by The Love Boat.
Might as well go
tonight. The Love Boat. No.
You should go talk to CBS, try and get a sponsorship deal, because you're great at plugging, just shilling for all these shows.
Shilling, yeah.
So you might as well get.
Shilling played for the Red Sox.
Here's a bonus question that I think maybe Ken might have an unfair advantage over Connor. Mm-hmm. What famous announcer is famous for the expression "The Love Boat"?
The Love Boat.
Funny, I was just talking about it today with a friend of mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the name of the announcer?
Ernie Anderson.
Ernie Anderson. He's gone, but he lives on tape. So
Eyewitness News.
Let's get back to the Democrat debates, and here's the idea: Michelle Obama for president is the idea, and Michael Moore, between bites of a hamburger, said,
"Oh, geez.
was that fat shaming? I'm sorry, was that illegal fat shaming?"
It could have been a veggie burger. Okay.
He said, we've got to get Michelle Obama. She's wonderful. Nobody is going to make up a nickname for her. He actually said there's no way Trump can come up with a nickname for Michelle. Is that true? Do you think Trump is incapable of coming up with a Michelle? There's Lion Ted, there's Lil Marco, and a bunch of the
Crooked
others.
Hillary.
There's Low Energy Jeb.
Yep.
Crooked Hillary is probably the most famous. You're right. What do you think? You think Trump would be incapable of coming up with a nickname, a little moniker for Michelle?
There's not
a
a
Michelle
lot,
moniker.
There's not a lot that would stick. There's not a lot that would be. I mean, she's kind of Teflon. She's a first lady who got a lot of people. A lot of people who didn't like the fact that we had a black president criticized her husband and her for that reason. But there wasn't scandal surrounding her that haunted her the way some politicians but
she's not going to run.
Well, Michael Moore is desperate for a Democrat, a progressive, to win, and he seriously thinks she could win.
Well, maybe, but
and should run. And you remember Bill Maher said Oprah should win about 2 months ago.
Yes, he did. He said Oprah
he on his show seriously said the one person who everybody in the nation could get behind. They love her. They're smart, and it's Oprah. And you think, gee, what if Oprah ran? Maybe the dream ticket would be Michelle and Oprah. Maybe a little fight over who got the top job and who had to take vice president.
Tough,
But what do you think? You think that would be a dream ticket for the Democrats, Oprah and Michelle Obama?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think that it would be a bad political decision in this current moment, because in 2020, what argument is going to be levied against them? They're not politically experienced or knowledgeable.
Oprah's ratings aren't as good as they used to be. That would be a good argument. Right?
That you can't argue.
She doesn't have a show. Really?
Yeah,
I don't think she
doesn't know. You can't argue that they are less politically experienced than Donald Trump, who has no political understanding, experience, education, or anything, and is actively, terribly, all wrong for politics, as we might want to assume that our politicians, who our politicians ought to be. So in that way, they would be safe from their biggest criticism, which is you are a first lady and a talk show host. He was also a TV star. So, I mean, what are they going to say? On the other hand, are you sort of playing down to your opponent in the same way that if the Yankees played against my high school baseball team, they might not perform at their absolute best. They might play down to the level or towards the level of the team they're playing against. And when you go up against Trump, it can be seductive to say, oh, well, they've got this TV star. We should put up a TV star. When instead, the way I think to beat Trump is to be a great example of somebody who is extremely politically knowledgeable. No,
like Marianne Williamson.
Yeah, exactly. Now, maybe.
Well, there'll be Joe Biden.
Michelle.
Biden certainly has political experience.
Yes,
he's got experience up the kazoo.
Yeah, that's true. Is that really an expression?
But seriously,
isn't the kazoo a musical instrument?
Up the
I don't think your experience would be up a musical instrument like kazoo.
But maybe that's a family-friendly version of.
Well, let me get back to the lovely Marianne Williamson. It's so weird to me that people are allowed to use the run for presidency as a way to improve their brand, to sell their books and so on. Now, obviously, people say, what about Donald Trump? He did it. Yes, he did, but you don't like Donald Trump, so why are you giving me Donald Trump as an excuse why we should entertain the thought of Marianne Williamson? I mean, it is so idiotic. She is not going to be president. She is totally unqualified.
Right.
You have to know something about government, about history, about economics.
And who is this woman? I have no
She's a
idea
motivational speaker, right?
Yeah. That's as far
why
as I
is she
know.
wasting our time? And people say, well, gosh, Marianne Williamson was the most searched name after each of the Democrat debates. And I'm asking myself, why would that be? Why are they searching for somebody?
Who is she?
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. They don't search Joe because they know who Joe is.
And then why was she up there? I mean, did she get enough polling support?
Yeah. Well, there are rules. You have to have a certain number of dollars and a certain percentage in the polls.
And
That's how you got on the stage.
But she had, was it, let's say 2%?
1%. the first round.
She had 1%.
Yeah. Well, so that
1% polling.
She's got an amazing social media deal. I get an email, at least one from her every single day. Now I don't know if it's just because I happen to be on a list somewhere, but do you get emails from Marianne Wilson?
No, I had no idea who she was before.
I don't check my spam mail, but yeah, it's.
Oh, this isn't spam. Somehow it gets through the spam. Yeah, it's like a laser kind of thing.
This is the reason that we have 20 Democratic candidates at 19, I guess, whatever now. No, 21. The reason that we have this circus is that the Democratic National Committee is scared. They're scared of looking like the bad guy, like they looked after 2016 when they played favorites with Hillary Clinton, and they did everything they could to make sure she was and ended up being the nominee. And afterwards, they got a lot of flack about that and a lot of pushback. And people, Democrats,
Bernie didn't endorse her, which is he never did, right?
Right.
I don't think he ever did.
I don't know.
And the shot of him sulking at the Democratic National Convention as she was giving an acceptance speech, they kept cutting to him. If I remember, and he was like,
exactly.
Frown.
This is an example.
That really did not help her.
Right. No, of course. And the blowback is that we've got generous percentages that allow people to get onto that debate stage. The other reason is Donald Trump. Everybody thinks this is their year. This is the best possible chance ever.
Oh, yeah, low-hanging fruit.
Exactly. So, therefore, you have more people running. You have more people get out there splitting up the percentages.
What about
now,
CNN came under a lot of flack for cutting a lot of almost everyone off as they were answering the question. Whatever.
Well,
the
but there are
was.
time limits. Why not cut them off?
But
as a matter of fact, why don't they cut their mics off so that when they keep blabbing past their time, then Jake Tapper can say, "Sorry, nobody can hear you now. We're going to the other person."
Did this happen on MSNBC? Had the first round, right? Was that a problem on MSNBC?
I thought it was CNN both times.
No, did CNN?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But CNN came under criticism for this latest one this past week.
Biden actually got criticism because given the reality that everyone talks past the time, talks over each other, interrupts, and tries to get more airtime, Biden did what probably his advisors told him to do, which is the second the moderator says, "All right, and you're out of time, and we'll go to somebody else." The second the moderator even utters a single syllable, like, "Okay, Joe," and tries to break him off, Joe just stops. Middle of a sentence.
Yeah, he did that. That was a bad. You know what?
You know what? My plan for the American people, Joe.
Yeah, and then he shut up.
He's a rule follower.
No, but the problem is he couldn't wrap it up within 2 seconds after being told to shut up.
Yeah, it looks bad. It sounds bad. It looks like somebody who's not able to sort of play along and fight the same fight for his time.
Was Elizabeth Warren. She was really pushy. I don't know if you saw much of her performance in the first debate this past week, but I mean, she was waving her hand all the time, even though it wasn't her turn. But she got good reviews for it. People ended up saying,
was it like Horseshack on Welcome Back, Kotter? Right. Oh, Mr. Kotter, Mr. Kotter.
They thought she was a fighter, and they took. They had a survey of Democrats who liked a bunch of different folks after the first round of debates. They put them in a room and they quizzed them, and they all said Elizabeth Warren won the debate. She's a fighter. We want to go with her.
Interesting. We saw Donald Trump do a lot of the same thing. When it wasn't his turn against Hillary, he's still up there making facial expression, pulling stupid crap, but people are paying attention to him, and that's eating away from her time.
And I love the way he stalked Hillary. He walked right up behind her.
That hurt years before. It hurt Al Gore when they showed on a split screen Bush talking and Gore grimacing.
Yep.
And it
hurt Bush when he looked at his watch during the Ross Perot Bill Clinton.
It's so interesting that back then it hurt the candidates, and now the attitude is, they're a fighter. They're passionate, and they're gonna.
But it might be that Trump makes the correct grimaces for television.
It could be.
So Trump is a television animal.
Yeah, he is.
Back to my obsession with Marianne Williamson, our next president. Yes. She said, too many people around the world just don't like us, and violent video games have played a role in the global anti-American attitude. So, Mr. Connor, you've had some experience with video games. Marianne Williamson is on the right track attacking us for having violent video games?
As a purveyor of fine violent video games myself, I don't understand what the heck she's talking about. I think she has this...
Pac-Man. I think she's talking about... Do you know those little creatures actually die in that
they're already ghosts, but yes.
I forgot they became ghosts.
They start as ghosts. They're chasing you. Not the point.
I feel stupid.
Look, Yeah, it's okay. So she
back to
is alluding to
1990
this
on this, okay?
strange talking point where people think, have thought previously, a lot of violent video games that Americans play are bizarre power fantasies where they basically kill black and brown people on screen because they, reenact wars from American history as the heroes who are all these American...
Why not just come up with a new game? Die, white privilege!
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. I'd buy that game in a second. But yeah, is that actually hurting us abroad? Yeah. Maybe. I think Trump going out and shouting about how China is evil and exploiting us and fighting us and fighting a war against us.
If Aunt Bertha burned her brownies, would you then morph into an attack on Trump? I mean,
probably.
That was a stretch.
Yeah.
To move from Marianne Williamson.
It was. No, but you're right. What is hurting Americans' image abroad? It's the existence of Trump. It's not the existence of violent video games. Why is she going to that? That is not how could that possibly be the thing that's making people around the world hate us?
Speaking of Donald Trump, let's talk about whether he should reveal his taxes. So California has passed a new law. If you are going to be a presidential candidate, if you want to appear on the California primary ballot, doggone it, you've got to disclose your income tax returns. Right. But there's this little hurdle. The Constitution of the United States says to be president, you only have to be a natural-born citizen.
Right.
A resident of the U.S. for 14 years, 35 years of age, and it says nothing about handing over your taxes. So there's going to be a clash of the titans in court over whether this new California law is going to prevent somebody like the Donald, who is presumably still going to not that he needs California to be on the ballot in California, because he's not going to get a single vote in California.
Judge in New York did the same thing, I think.
Really? Okay.
And I think the judge threw it out. You may want to check that.
So if you're a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Connor, how do you rule on this?
Well, if I'm Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, I already know how I'm going to rule. But I think this is a bad and dangerous precedent to set. I think the idea of keeping people off of ballots because you don't like them, you think they're bad or evil, or even that they're a criminal. I would not support a law that said if you were a convicted axe murderer.
So Bernie Madoff should be allowed to run for president from his cell?
The horrifying thing about democracy is that people make these choices for us, and putting filters in the way of preventing people from getting onto ballots is a dangerous step in the wrong direction, in my view. So I really don't like what California is doing here. And while I would very much like Trump to release his tax returns, I think that would increase transparency. I think that would make our political system better if people did release their tax returns if they wanted to run for president. I think all these are good reasons, and we do have to know.
Can they make it into a law rather than enshrined into the Constitution? Or
well, that's the thing. The Constitution generally is going to supersede laws that get passed. So if you want to make a change like this, you probably should have to.
A lot of people are skeptical about this because as much as they would love to see Donald Trump being forced to hand over his tax returns, they're asking questions like, well, what's next? Are we going to require every candidate to reveal 5 years of health records?
Right.
Are we going to force them all to reveal their high school and college grades, their birth certificate, and so on?
Birth certificate.
Yeah, why not? So I think a lot of people are thinking maybe this law is not such a good idea. A lot of progressives, though, are in favor of it, though. So I admire you, Connor, for breaking from your fellow progressives.
We're not right about everything. Just like 99.999%.
You don't want to hang out with those folks.
It's going to get thrown out.
99% of the time.
We'll be right back, folks, on the Royal Oak Show.
We'll be back on CRN with the Royal Oak Show.
Savor the past and savor the glory days of Las Vegas. Enjoy 70 years of true Las Vegas history as 4 generations of family wait to greet you at the legendary Bootlegger Italian Bistro. Wine, dine, and experience Mama Maria's award-winning original recipes while surrounded by original family photos and celebrity memorabilia. Enjoy piano artistry nightly with music from the Great American Songbook in our main formal dining room. The Bootlegger Italian Bistro, open 24/7, 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard South. In the entertainment capital of the world, the Bootlegger Italian Bistro, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard South, in the entertainment capital of the world. It's Vegas, baby.
Hi, everybody. Michael Horn from CRNTalk.com. You know, we provide you with the best in talk radio. 8 channels of talk radio, from radio on the left, radio on the right, sports talk, business talk, religious talk, Spanish talk, you name it, we've got talk radio for you. All at CRNTalk.com. Well, now we'll bring you video as well as audio. That's right. Watch your favorite shows like The Robert Conrad Show, The Fred Dreyer Program, What's Cooking Today, What's Cooking on Wine, The Lounge, and so many other shows in video right at our website, crntalk.com. You can also watch us on Roku. Just search CRN Talk, and you can watch us on Roku on any TV anywhere in the world. Also on Facebook Live. Go to facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Roku, search CRN Talk. Check us out on Tiki Live and at crntalk.com. Video for you talk fans, all from CRN Talk.
Looking for an intimate, romantic getaway? Escape to Maui's premier bed and breakfast, The Plantation Inn, a quiet oasis in the heart of Lahaina town. Guest rooms and suites offer Hawaiian plantation decor combined with modern amenities and surrounded a serene courtyard with a pool, jacuzzi, and lush tropical foliage. The inn is located just steps from Lahaina's historic Front Street for an easy stroll to museums, galleries, shops, and restaurants. Call 667-9225 or visit theplantationinn.com and plan your getaway now.
Want to build your brand? Get boldly distinctive results with Catalyst Nutraceuticals. Catalyst Nutraceuticals are your full-service specialists for formulating and manufacturing. Let us handle your nutritional supplements. Let Catalyst Nutraceuticals make a difference for your product and brand. Go to catalystnutra.com, CATALYSTNUTRA.com, or call 678-641-9941.
Welcome back to the Royal Oak Show with our co-host Ken Jeffries.
Can I just say something? My wife chimed in on Facebook.
Yes.
Here,
What did Stephanie have to say?
Yeah, she said, look into the camera and take my hand off my chin. So
good advice.
Okay. So she's like a television director.
Yeah.
Yes, she is, and at home she's also like a television director.
This could be a new career for her. All right, so we've got our second moron of the week candidate we want to get into. The first candidate, you'll recall, was the guy arrested for murder, and he had murder tattooed on his neck.
Great.
That sounds kind of moronic, I think.
Yep.
So our second candidate is Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, great.
Everybody knows this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Friend of Prince Andrew from England, of Donald Trump, of Bill Clinton.
Who?
Who else did he hang out with? Was there a fourth unlucky celebrity?
Who's who?
Yeah.
Dershowitz, I think. He hung out with Dershowitz.
Oh, that's right.
Dershowitz kept his underwear on the whole time.
Is that what he
Just so
said?
you know. Yeah, he said he got a massage from this woman that Epstein procured for him. But his underwear stayed on the whole time, and he also insisted that the woman was, old and unattractive. So nothing bad could have
By the way,
happened.
her initials were BVD, apparently.
I don't know
So
what that means.
the chart, we'll get it to the moron aspect of Epstein in a second, but this Dershowitz connection is interesting to me because when it was alleged a few years ago that in addition to other people that were hanging out and partying with Jeffrey Epstein and were involved with minor underage women, Dershowitz's name comes up, and that was kind of weird because you don't think of this guy as a hard partying fellow. And of course, predictably, he was totally outraged and fought back. And he had an interesting op-ed piece, I think, in the New York Times a couple of months ago, where he said, "Okay, all of the allegations against me have been discredited. The women who have said things about me have been shown to be total nutcases and mental cases and so on. And nobody's charging me with anything, but it's really damaging to my reputation.
Right.
So here's what I want as Alan Dershowitz. This is what I want. I am calling.
I'd like to be invited back to the parties on Martha's Vineyard.
He didn't say
one
that.
likes
I don't
me
know if
anymore.
there's a thought bubble
He
there.
literally
but-
did say that. He wrote that op-ed as well.
So what he said was, I want a federal investigation by the FBI into the truth of everybody's statements, including mine. I want you to investigate me. I want you to investigate, Epstein if he's saying I'm involved, and the women. And the idea, what he said was, I know I will be vindicated, and I look forward to the fact that whoever is found to have lied as part of a federal investigation, they're going to prison.
To the gulag.
I thought that was a ballsy thing for him to do, to invite a federal investigation. Sounds like you're a little skeptical or cynical guy. Are you not a fan of Alan Dershowitz?
I think
is it because he represented O.J. Simpson?
Okay. A great Dershowitz op-ed popped up from a couple of years ago on Twitter recently, this week actually, and the Dersh couldn't resist weighing in when
we
criticized.
got the mooch, and now we got the
Dersh. So Dershowitz wrote an op-ed saying, well, if a woman is old enough to decide to be part of the to decide to get an abortion without parental approval, then that she should be old enough to have sex. So the age of consent should be lowered in connection with the fact that young women are argued by liberals to be able to get abortions without parental consent. And everyone came out and said,
wow.
Dersh, are you the dumbest man alive? Are you currently arguing that because biologically a woman can get pregnant, say from, I don't know, a sexual assault, and then try to secretly get an abortion so that her parents don't find out about that therefore that woman who's 14 years old, 13 years old, 12 years old,
so you're not a big fan.
Age of consent, that should be the age of consent.
So we got to have our vote. Jeffrey Epstein has a fake passport, a Saudi Arabian passport, so he's able to escape these charges of having sex with women, sex trafficking, and his excuse was, I'm Jewish and I was worried about being hijacked on a plane by an Arab, and I wanted to be able to wave my Saudi Arabian passport.
What? That's his explanation.
Yeah, that's his explanation.
All right, that's dumber than the murder tat. Yeah, that's dumber.
So you think that's dumber than the murder guy?
A murder tattoo is objectively cool. Epstein is the opposite of objectively cool, so he's a bigger idiot.
Well, I want to go on record as saying that a murder tattoo is not objectively cool. But, that's what makes a horse race.
Yeah.
Difference of opinion. Have a great week, folks. See you next time on the Royal Oak Show.
Which was most important because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio shows sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound?